there it is. 240 amp alternator, belt on, no problems. All right, so I got a couple goodies here going in the Scion for the car audio build. Got a Mechman 240 amp alternator, which should definitely help keep up the amperage and voltage required. Oh, look at that. This thing's heavy. Holy moly. Beautiful. Nice and red. This thing has a birth certificate on it. So at 800 RPM idle, 119 amps, output at 1800 RPM, 249 amps. Definitely get the job done in conjunction with my reserve. And then also, under the hood, I have going in brand new XS Power D3400R. This thing is beast. It's going to be replacing the lead acid battery under the hood there. Boy, am I excited. We got some goodies going in. And I'm not skimping either. I'm getting the best of the best. Mechman, XS Power. Going to be running DC audio, level 5 subwoofers, sundown audio amplifiers. It is going to be an amazing build. Also important to note, if you're going to upgrade to a high output alternator, has a smaller pulley. That pulley is 1.75 inch, and the pulley that's on here from the factory is 2.25 inch. So you need a ½ inch smaller belt. So just figure out whatever length your belt is, and then I like going to the Gates website because you can pull up the belt and just step down however many quarter inches you need. And the one for the Scion, at least, if you're upgrading to a high output alternator with a smaller pulley, you need a ½ inch smaller belt. There's your number there, K060490. All right, so first things first, let's go ahead and get the battery disconnected, since we have to disconnect it anyway before we start working on other things like the alternator there. So let's go ahead and get her out of there. All right, so I got the battery in, mounted using the factory mounting bar there, no problems at all. I had to modify these a little bit because what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to mount them onto here with my distribution block. The reason why you want to upgrade your grounds and do the big three, look at this. This is the only thing that was grounding the car battery from the factory. This one little cable from the factory battery down to this little flimsy panel here, which they didn't even grind down all the paint or anything. It's just, this is why you got to upgrade your electrical, guys, because this ain't going to run an 8,000 watt stereo system. All right. So I'm going to just get this thing completely out of here, do a solid ground, and then another engine block ground, and then run 2 grounds to the back to power my amplifier and to my rear lithium bank. And that'll get the job done. Not that. All right, so I got the Down for Sound distribution blocks on there. It's the same ones that I had on the Hummer. And as you can see, I have the factory power wires under there. Super solid, ain't gonna go anywhere. And I always recommend just leaving them connected, the power wires from the factory. And you don't have to, but you do gotta route power to them because this actually feeds the fuse box. So they need to be connected, so might as well just leave it connected from the factory, which I did here. So there's the battery installed. What I'm gonna do next is get that alternator out, and then I'm gonna run the big three and get all the power connected. One more thing, you're supposed to charge these fully before using them for the first time. However, this is fully charged already. It's already, I think it was 12.7, 12.6 something volts. So no need to charge. All right, next is the alternator. So that bolt right back there is your tensioner. It's a 14 millimeter. Twist it, it'll release tension on your alternator or on your serpentine belt, so you can slip it off the alternator. You got one bolt right there and then another one down there as well. And that's it, comes right out. Probably gonna remove this bracket here just to make everything more accessible and be able to slide the alternator right out. It never hurts just to draw out a quick diagram of your pulley system there, because sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't. And this doesn't have the diagram, and it just saves you from having to Google. So there you go. That cap that comes off, 10mm bolt, takes power wire off. All right, this little plastic thing here needs to come off. There we go. I'm also gonna remove that one just so I can get everything out of the way here. I like having space. And then finally, the factory plug unplugs, and you're good to go. All right, now that everything's moved out of the way, nothing but net, plenty of space. So if you're struggling with the serpentine belt, there's an access panel you can take off, and then you can access everything you need to right there. So makes your life a lot easier. There it is with the cover off. You can kind of see you get access pretty easily. Got the new belt routed. Just sitting there prepped, ready to go. Good there. There it is. 240 amp alternator, belt on, no problems. I had to take the heat shield off because I was having issues getting this out. So I'm gonna put the heat shield back on, button everything up. Wait, pretty cool. This car comes with equal length shorty headers. All right, so that crappy factory ground I ground down there to bare metal, and I'm gonna replace it with another 0 gauge. All right, so I'm currently running 2 0 gauge from front to rear. And see, I'm going through the factory firewall grommet back there. Let me try to go closer. See that? Right into the factory grommet. Let me show you on the inside here. It's just the easiest way, given the compact nature of this vehicle. And there you go. Rubber on all sides. You can go ahead and hate if you want, but it works. Just got to pull it through now and route it to the back. All right, so I'm running the ground on this side of the engine because I want to do a direct run to the alternator. I shaved that down to bare metal. Here's the bolt that comes with it. And I'm going to attach a copper lug wherever that sucker went and run a direct ground to the alternator to the back. I'm going to figure, since I'm going to be mounting my fuses right over here, I'll go ahead and replace the air filter just so I don't have to mess with anything once I get all this stuff installed. A little dirty. That sucker out of here. Go for that STP. Premium. Look at that. Nice, even though you can't even see it when it's in there. Oh well. All right, so here's my 2 0 gauge that are running from the front to back for the power. And looking to put fuses. Kind of looking grim here, and I don't want to drill into air box or drill into the fuse box or do anything Mickey Mouse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to utilize this bolt here. What I'm going to do is, yeah, got a little bracket, and I got a piece of MDF. I'm going to mount there, carpet it black, and then put the fuse holder to that. It's going to look great. All right, under hood is done. Got my fuse panel, XS 3400, 240 amp Mechman alternator, Sky High car audio distribution block. Got 2 runs of 0 gauge going from that to the positive terminal on the battery. 2 runs going to a fuse holder here. I don't have the fuses in yet because I'm not done installing the system. My custom little fabricated fuse panel holder that I used the factory mounting bolt screw on the battery holder. 2 runs 0 gauge going all the way to the back through the firewall. And then here I got one run of negative going back to the rear, direct ground to the alternator. And then over here on the battery, I got 2 grounds. I replaced the factory ground, which was going right there. It was some little flimsy wire. They didn't even shave it. But I replaced that with a 0 gauge. And then I also did a direct engine block ground, as you can see right there. So, needless to say, under hood electrical is in check. Ready to finish routing the wires to the back and then connecting everything up once it comes in and getting ready to lay out that first demo. What song should I play first? That's always the question. We'll see.